Omahyanatimirandasya chinansana shnakaya sakshunmiritam yena tasmai shigurve namah. Shichetayamanopistam stapitam yena bhutaleshvam upkadamyam dadati svapadantikam. Vandeham shiyuda padkamam shiram vaishnavamsha. Shri Rupam Jagajatam Saganarahnatam Tam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagalita Shivasakam Vitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhudina Vandojat Pate Gopesha Goprakanta Radhakanta Namastate Tapta Kansana Gauraki Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhana Satadevi Panamama Haripriya Pankha Kalptrabhasha Kripasan Vivsha Padnam Pavana Bhyo Vaishnavya Namo Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namo. Namaste Saraswata Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvashesha Sunyavadi Paskachari Desata. So today we continue studying Nectar of Instruction. We have still to discuss the last two paragraphs of the purport, but we read the verse again that Krishneti yasagiritam manasadriyeta dikshasti set pranatibis sabhajantamisham susrusaya bhajanavihya mananya manya Indadi sunyari dimipsita sanghalabdya. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisance to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. So this verse defines three levels of devotees. One who sometimes chants a holy name, even once one should offer respect in the mind. One, the devotee who has received initiation, we should offer our obeisances, our respect. And that devotee who has unalloyed devotional service and will never criticize others, such a pure devotee one should serve. Now, in the last two paragraphs, we discussed Srila Prabhupada speaks about accepting a spiritual master. In the beginning of the purport, Prabhupada says, it's important to know who is less advanced than us and more advanced to properly associate with these devotees. And especially with regard to the 6 loving exchanges mentioned in the first verse, giving prasad, receiving prasad, giving gifts, receiving gifts, sharing one's experience in confidence with another devotee, one devotee to another, or here another devotee sharing his experience in confidence to you. Like this experience, there's a sharing in confidence. We cannot share our heart in confidence with one who is less advanced than us. That's inappropriate. No, to them we give our association. We don't take their association so much. We give association. And to those who are more advanced, we serve them. and we can reveal our mind to them. That to those who are equal, we can reveal our mind to us, and they can reveal our mind to us. So there's different levels, but now in the last two paragraphs of the purport, Srila Prabhupada focuses on accepting a spiritual master. He will say one must accept an Uttama Adhikari as a spiritual master. We go to the end, we will read these paragraphs, sentence by sentence. So it said, when a person realizes himself to be an eternal servitor of Krishna, he loses interest in everything but Krishna's service. That's a symptom of one who is advanced. He becomes interested in spiritual life, advance in spiritual life, and he loses his interest in everything in this world. So that is, he only wants to serve Krishna. He may have interest in things in this world, but only for the service of Krishna. And then Prabhupada gives a definition of how we can recognize an Uttama Adhikari. He says, an Uttama Adhikari always thinking and devising means and plans to spread the holy name of Krishna. He understands that his only business is in spreading the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. So, such a person is to be recognized as an Uttama Adhikari. Prabhupada does not say that this is an Uttama Adhikari. He says it should be recognized as such, because he's acting as an Uttama Adhikari. We have heard before how one acts as a Madhyama Adhikari. A Madhyama Adhikari sees four categories. It sees Krishna and the Ishvara Tat Adinesha. So he sees Krishna, he sees the Tat Adinesha, he sees the devotees of Krishna. And then he sees the Balishu, the innocent, and he sees the Tvisa, the one who are envious of Krishna. And he has a different relationship with each of four. For Krishna, he tries to develop prema, love of God. For the devotees, maitra, friendship. We must all make friendship with devotees, and we should preach to the innocent and avoid the atheist. So that was the Madhyam, but here the Uttama is said, one who always makes plans to spread the holy name, and so in other words, one who is fully engaged in Krishna's mission, in Srila Prabhupada's mission, must be recognized as an Uttama Adhikari. And his association should be immediately accepted according to the 6 processes. With such a devotee, one should hear about Krishna. That's a beautiful gift. Yes, and one should ask questions of Krishna. The questions how to advance in spiritual life. So yes, the advanced Uttama Adhikari devotee should be accepted as a spiritual master, he says. Should be accepted as a spiritual master. So Prabhupada is careful in his wording. He says, one who is fully engaged in Krishna's mission must be recognized as an Uttama Adhikari. It may not be, but it must be recognized. That and it should be accepted as a spiritual master. That everything one possesses should be offered to him, for it is enjoined that one should deliver whatever he has to the spiritual master. That so that is quite a deep injunction. It is good to think about it before you take initiation. That am I going to follow the instructions of the spiritual master? The spiritual master ask me this, will I do it? Or do we put a barrier? He can ask up to this point, but he's asking me this, I will not do. No, that's not surrender. Papa said one should offer everything to the spiritual master. That for it is enjoined that one should deliver whatever he has to the spiritual master. Especially the brahmachari is supposed to beg alms from others and offer them to the spiritual master. However, one should not imitate the behavior of the advanced devotee or Mahabhagavat without being self-realized. For by such imitation, one will eventually become degraded. So we should not try to imitate a Mahabhagavat. So yes. Then we hear the last paragraph is about accepting a spiritual master. So Prabhupada says in this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advised the devotee to be intelligent enough to distinguish between the Kanishta, the Madhyam Adhikar, and the Uttama Adhikar. Kanishta, Madhyam, Uttam. The devotee should also know his own position and should not try to imitate a devotee situated on a higher platform. So that now we have to know on what platform we are. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given some practical hints to the effect that an Uttama Adhikari Vaishnava can be recognized by his ability to convert many fallen souls to Vaishnavism. And that is one way to convert many fallen souls to Vaishnavism. So one should not become a spiritual master unless he has attained the platform of Uttama Adhikari. So one must be fully dedicated to the mission of Srila Prabhupada. A neophyte Vaishnava or Vaishnava situated on the intermediate platform can also accept disciples, but such disciples must be on the same platform. It should be understood that they cannot advance very well to the ultimate goal by insufficient guidance. So Madhyam, so even if the devotee is at the end of the stage of Kanishta and going to become a Madhyam on the border, he can also accept disciples. But it is said that this spiritual master can only bring disciples to the platform of the spiritual master who is on a Madhyam platform. He cannot bring them to Prema because he cannot explain them that he has realizations to the point he has realized and can transfer this realization and helps other disciples to come also to that platform. So this is an important principle. But in our movement, we have a multi-guru society with many guru and multi-guru and many advanced devotees. And some are on the Madhyam platform, some are on the Kanishta platform, some are on Uttama platform. So we can learn from all of them and really try to come to the platform of Uttama Adhikari. Even if our spiritual master is in Madhyam, we can take shelter of other spiritual masters, also Shiksha Gurus, and by hearing from all of them, we will be able to come to the highest platform gathering. So a neophyte Vaishnava or a Vaishnava situated on the intermediate platform can also accept disciples, but such disciples must be on the same platform. It should be understood that they cannot advance very well toward the ultimate goal, and there is insufficient guidance. So I've explained what this insufficient guidance is. And that's the Madhyam can explain how to get to the Madhyam platform, but there's no experience beyond. That's the limitation. Therefore, disciples should be careful to accept an Uttama Adhikari as a spiritual master. Of course, we accept Srila Prabhupada also as a preeminent Shiksha Guru, and by studying Prabhupada's books under the guidance of the spiritual master, we can advance and attain the goal. So this was the text number 5. And now we have text number 6. Text number 6 that warns us not to commit aparadha to the pure devotees. So I will read text 6. Tristai svabhavajaniter vabhupasado se na prakitattvamya bhaktadyanasya pashat gangabasam nakalubaho na gangabasam nakalubu bubudape napankeh pramatva pravatvam apagachatini radharmai. Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee having a body born in a low family, a body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee, but despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the waters of the Ganga that which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam and mud. The Ganges waters do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. And sometimes on the water there may be foam or different substances floating, but the Ganges water is always pure. So when we devoted push this aside and takes a bath, and does not consider this contamination. In the same way, a devotee may have a bad complexion, deformed, diseased, infirm body, but that is a materialistic view. If we see the devotee, we should see the devotee's pure character and intention. That is the spiritual beauty So we will read the purport now. Suddha Bhakti, the activity of the soul proper, in other words, engagement in transcendental loving service of the Lord, is performed in a liberated condition. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Mamsya Vyabhicharana Bhaktioruna Sevate Sakadam Samati Chetam Pamabuya Kalapate. One who engages in full devotions, who does not fall down in any circumstance at once, transcends the modes of material nature and thus come to the level of Brahman. So that this is the power of bhakti. You may be full of contamination, but if you have the pure intention and you focus your mind on Krishna and you have the pure intention just to please him, you at once transcend the mode of nature. If you engage with that pure intention in service, body, mind, and soul. So when Prabhupada, how long does it take to become Krishna conscious? But it's just a moment, he said. And if you have the right intention, then at the moment we can think of Krishna and we can perform devotional service in that state. But usually we cannot maintain it. Then the next moment the mind deviates. That, but it is Suddha Bhakti means we have come to Suddha Sattva, pure pure goodness. When heart is pure, then you can perform devotional service in the liberated state. But even if one is not liberated and performs devotional service, one transcends the modes immediately. Iyayasya karmanamana sakya nikalash apavashtasu jiva mukta sauchate. One who uses body, mind, words, and all convictions in the service of Krishna, he is acting on the liberated platform in Nectar of Devotion. Because Nectar of Instruction is a representation of the knowledge of Nectar of Devotion. Then Prabhupada writes about Avyabhicharini Bhakti. That means unalloyed devotion. So this unalloyed devotion is the highest spiritual energy. It's Ladini Shakti. Spiritual energies are of three kinds: Sandini, Samvit, and Ladini. So this Ladini is the highest spiritual energy, this devotion. And a devotee always wants to be absorbed in this and dovetail his consciousness in this spiritual energy. But to come there, one must become on the platform first of Samvit and Sandini. And that Sandini means existence, spiritual existence. And Samvit means all knowledge. Yeah, all pervading knowledge. So this Samvit and the Sandini together forms Suddha Sattva, the platform from which you always can dovetail your consciousness in spiritual consciousness and connect with this Ladini Shakti. So a person engaged in devotion service must be free from material motives. That's the first thing. We do it for Krishna without asking something in return. Of course, you have in Bhagavad Gita 4 kinds of people who approach Krishna with material desire. Chaturvidabhjantamam yechana sukritariana arta shikhna surachtarti jnani sa bharatarshava. There are four kinds of people who approach me with material motive, Krishna says. The one in distress, the one who is curious, the one who wants money or wealth, and the one who wants to know the absolute truth. So these are four material motives, but Krishna says they are all also dear to me. But the most dear is one who serves Krishna without any material motive. And so that's why we are here in this movement, to change our consciousness, get out these material motives in our action, and act for the pleasure of Krishna. That is acting as a soul, not as the body. That spiritual life means acting as a soul. So in this Krishna consciousness movement, one's consciousness must be changed. If consciousness is aimed toward material enjoyment, it is material consciousness. And when it's aimed towards serving Krishna, it is Krishna consciousness. So the difference between Krishna consciousness and material consciousness is explained here. That it's a consciousness aimed at something. That aimed, like an arrow is aimed at a target. The consciousness should be aimed at Krishna. In the same way, we have Queen Kunti praying to Krishna, please let my consciousness always flowing to you like the Ganges flows to the rivers, to the ocean. Let it always flow to you. So a surrendered soul serves Krishna without material considerations. And there you have the definition of pure devotion service of Uparasvami. Anyabhilastasya karma Shana Kamadana Uttama Anukuliyena Krishna Nusilam Bhakti Uttama. Unalloyed devotional service. So it's transcendent to the activities of body and mind, just as jnana, mental speculation, and karma, fruitive activities. It's transcendental to the activities of the body and mind, but still we use the body and mind in Krishna's service. The consciousness must be transcendental, devoid of these motives for mental speculation of getting results of your work. That results may be there, but we should not do it to get the results, but to please Krishna. And of course, through doing our work for Krishna, we are pleasing Krishna. As a byproduct, we will get wonderful results. That wonderful results in a form which we may see as good and bad. But the bad is also good. It's for our purification. So the result is always good for us. That's important. Maybe not always what we want. So Bhakti Yoga is a proper activity of the soul, because that's what they do in the spiritual world. In Vaikuntha, they serve Krishna in Santaras. That Shanta and Dasya rasa. That's Vaikuntha. And in Goloka Vrindavan, they serve Krishna in fraternal love, parental love, conjugal love, Sakya, Vatsal, and Madhurya Ras. So there is always, that's the proper activity. which is done in the spiritual world. And if we do that in the material world, then we bring our consciousness to the Vaikuntha level. And we will start to experience the material world as Vaikuntha. So Prabhupada always said, yes, we should create a Vaikuntha atmosphere. By always engaging in devotional service. So yes, when one actually engages in unalloyed, uncontaminated devotional service, he's already liberated. Sagunan Samatit Shaitan. So Krishna's devotee is not subjected to the material condition, even though his bodily features may apparently appear materially conditioned. One should therefore not see a pure devotee from a materialistic point of view. Unless one is actually a devotee, he cannot see another devotee perfectly. So that's important. That's why a Kanishta is not really, especially in beginning Kanishta, is not really yet a devotee, because he has still a contaminated heart. And therefore, he cannot see and discriminate who is advanced, who is not advanced. But if one is educated, even if one's heart is contaminated, and learns the characteristics of an advanced devotee and a beginner, one will be able, by education, to understand transcendental education. Therefore, we have this nectar of instruction and nectar of devotion, Bhagavatam. So we should not see a devotee from a materialistic point of view. So the devotee may do the same thing externally as a materialist, but internally his consciousness is completely different. So we see the world through our consciousness. It's colored by our consciousness. A businessman will see everywhere an opportunity to business. That a drunkard seeks opportunities for intoxication. So the materialist has an exploitive view. How can I exploit this for my sensual experiences? And that, like the animals, they think, where is food, where is food, where is food? The devotee sees the world different and think, and he sees everywhere opportunities to serve Krishna by spreading the Krishna consciousness movement. So unless one is actually a devotee, he cannot see another devotee perfectly. As explained in the previous verse, there are three types of devotees: the Kanishta Adhikari, the Madhyama Adhikari, the Uttama Adhikari. The Kanishta Adhikari cannot distinguish between a devotee and a non-devotee. He is simply concerned with worshipping the deity in the temple. A Madhyama Adhikari, however, can distinguish between the devotee and non-devotee, as well as between the devotee and the Lord. Thus he treats the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotee and the non-devotee, in different ways. So a Kanishta cannot make that. A Madhyam can see who is who. So a Kanishta should therefore always take guidance, not act independently. That is dangerous because his consciousness is contaminated. He will do the wrong thing. Prahlad Nanamach asked Srila Prabhupada that how do I know what to do and not to do? And Srila Prabhupada looked upon him with compassion and said, you will do the wrong thing. Because he was 1 year in the movement or something. we will do the wrong thing in the beginning. But yes, yeah, therefore, it's important to be conscious of that. What is my position? That so then the warning is there not to commit this Vaishnava Aparadha to a pure devotee. Now, one should not criticize devotees. That's very detrimental to one's consciousness. No one should criticize the bodily defects of a pure devotee. If there are such defects, they should be overlooked. What should be taken into account is the spiritual master's main business, which is devotional service, pure service to the Lord, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. And then this verse is quoted. This verse, which says that even a devotee does abominable things, that still it should be accepted as a sadhu. Apichat shudracharo pachat bhajate mammanan yabak sadhureva samantavya samyakvya pasitoita. Even if a devotee sometimes seems to engage in abominable activities, he should be considered a sadhu, a saintly person, because his actual identity is that of one engaged in loving devotional service to the Lord. In other words, he is not to be considered an ordinary human being. Even though a pure devotee may not be born in a Brahmin or Goswami family, if he is engaged in the service of the Lord, he should not be neglected. In actuality, there cannot be a family of Goswamis based on material considerations, caste of heredity. The Goswami title is actually the monopoly of the pure devotees. Thus we speak of the 6 Goswamis headed by Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami had practically become Mohammedans, and he had therefore changed their name to Dabir Kash and Sakra Malik, but Chaitanya Prabhu himself made them Goswamis. Therefore, the Goswami title is not hereditary. The word Goswami refers to one who can control his senses, who is master of the senses. A devotee is not controlled by the senses, but is the controller of the senses. Consequently, he should be called a Swami or Goswami, even though he may not be born in a Goswami family. So it means Swami means he's always engaged in devotional service. And by that, his senses are controlled. So according to this formula, the Goswamis were the sons of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Advaita Prabhu, are solely devotees. But devotees coming from other families could not be discriminated against. Indeed, whether the devotee comes from a family of previous acharya or from an ordinary family, they should be treated equally. One should not think, oh, here is an American Goswami and discriminate against him. Nor should one think, here is a Nityananda Vamsi Goswami. There is an undercurrent of protest against our awarding the title Goswami to the American Vaishnavas of the Krishna consciousness movement. Sometimes people flatly tell the American devotees that their sannyas or title of Goswami is not bona fide. However, according to the statements of Srila Rupa Goswami in this verse, an American Goswami and a Goswami in a family of acharyas are non-different. So yes, that's a point Prabhupada in his books brings up many times. And that if one follows the process and dedicates his life to the spreading of Krishna consciousness, that then one is considered a Goswami or Swami. And there should not be discrimination, that this is an Indian Swami and this is an American Swami. That is offensive. That one should not discriminate in that way, externally based on the body, because that's what this verse says. The body may be different, the body may be disformed, but it doesn't matter. It's the pure intention of the practitioner which made him pure. So, however, according to the statement of Srila Goswami in this verse, an American Goswami and a Goswami in a family of acharyas are non-different. On the other hand, a devotee was attained the title of Goswami, but is not born of a Brahman father or of a Goswami family in the of Nityananda or Advaita Prabhu, should not be artificially puffed up by thinking that he has become a Goswami. He should always remember that as soon as he becomes materially puffed up, he immediately falls down, just thinking materially. Number one falls down. This Krishna conscious movement is a transcendental science, and there is no room for jealousy. The movement is meant for the Parama Nirmat Saranam. One should not be jealous whether he is born in a family of Goswamis or has the title Goswami awarded to him. As soon as anyone becomes envious, he falls from the platform of Paramahamsa. The Prabhupada said this movement is meant for the Paramam Nirmat Saranam. Those who are free of envy. So read one more. If we consider the bodily defects of a Vaishnava, we should understand that we are committing an offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. An offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava is very serious. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described this as Hatimata, the mad elephant offense. So we are speaking here about the first offense of the holy name, that making an offense to those who dedicate their lives for pleasing, for the propagation of the Krishna consciousness movement, or making an offense to the spiritual master, Guru Avakya. That's the third offense. Third and the first offense are going together. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said it's like you have a very beautiful garden with many flowers, very varieties, nicely maintained. But then a mad elephant comes and destroys everything, tramples everything. So a mad elephant can create a disaster, especially when this enters into a nicely tamed garden. One should therefore be careful not to commit an offense against the Vaishnava. Every devotee should be ready to take instructions from a superior Vaishnava, and superior Vaishnava must be ready to help an inferior Vaishnava in all respects. So this is very important, that we should not criticize other devotees. One who is less advanced should take instructions of a superior devotee, and a superior devotee is there to serve the inferior devotee to elevate them. But that's also a function of all devotees must do that. Trying to elevate those who are beginners, who are less advanced than us, taking shelter of the most advanced. So one is superior or inferior according to his spiritual development in Krishna consciousness. One is forbidden to observe the activities of a pure Vaishnava from a material point of view. for the neophyte, especially considering a pure devotee from a material point of view, is very injurious. One should therefore avoid observing a devotee externally, but should try to see the internal features and understand how he is engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. So we can see devotees who can give good lecture, have a lot of disciples. We may think they are pure devotees. Maybe they are, we don't know. You have to see their qualities. But the very simple devotee who is doing service at the background, always very humble, may also be a pure devotee. We have to be careful that not to just judge by the externals. In this way, one can avoid seeing the pure devotee from a material point of view, and thus healthy become a purified devotee himself. So we have still 2 paragraphs to go, which we will finish next time. Any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
I could not hear you. And there seems something. Do the others hear him? I don't hear anything.
No, Maharaj, I can't hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Yeah, the internet here has been a little choppy.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I very much enjoyed your talk this morning, Prabhu. This is Simone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Can you hear me?
We could not hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Maharaj.
Yeah. Now we are hearing you now, but before.
Okay.
So if you can repeat what you wanted to say.
Yes, Maharaj. I'm sorry for that. Yeah. So, just wanted to get a guidance on, how we can understand ourselves, where we are in the, these different levels of devotees, and how to avoid the traps where when we are trying to judge or know about other devotees level, because it is instructed in today's class as well as in the purport that we should associate with devotees, and especially same levels of devotees or higher levels of devotees. But the mind creates a trap, and we mostly focus or try to focus on the things which somebody is lacking, or I may think that, oh, this person is devotee, it's nice, he gives nice lectures, but then he has an ego, or he has other issues. So how to come out of that trap?
Yeah, that we have to try to become non-judgmental, and that's not an easy thing. And that other devotees may have strength and weakness. That's okay. Everyone has that. But we should not just judge their internal intentions. That's dangerous. That they may act in a certain way, and we may ask why you're acting in that way, but not judge before clarifying that. That is very dangerous. that we cannot see in the heart of a person and know his intentions. We cannot. And that is dangerous to doing that. The action or in self we may approach from a practical way, but not judge the intention. We can, if we have doubts about the intention, we can try to clarify it and ask questions, but not on the basis of intention. So that's more important, that who is more advanced than us, who is not, we are giving the many of the qualities we discussed, the characteristics of one who is advanced, who is not advanced. One who is advanced is really in the spreading of Krishna consciousness. And is trying to serve the movement, trying to serve others. One who is less advanced, his mind dwells more on materialistic things. How to get the profit. And he's always striving, and his motives are not pure. Like the devotee who comes from India to serve in our temples, but his inner motivation is to get a green card. It's not to serve. and that is, but we cannot just project that in a person. It may be true, but we should not judge it. But we should educate those who are less advanced, who have these false motivations, in coming to the right motivation. And today is a good lesson for that. They should all hear this lesson again and again and again. That pure consciousness means pure intention. And if you have pure intention, you will come to pure consciousness. If your intention is not pure, you cannot purify your consciousness. Therefore, we must hear this, and also practice this. If you practice the pure intention to please Krishna, then you are practicing to learn to love Krishna and the devotees. And that is what we need. If you don't have that pure intention, if you have some exploitive motive, then advancement becomes very, very, very difficult. But we cannot see that in the heart of a person. And be careful with that. But in our classes, therefore we should hear classes every day, it's mostly about getting the intention right, the goal right. That the goal is not me and mine. The goal is giving our love for Krishna. Therefore, because otherwise, especially leaders should have the goal right. Prabhupada quotes Prahlad Maharaj, na tevidu, na me vidu Savishnam, this verse, I forgot the verse, but it says that one must know the goal of life. Because if you don't have the goal right, then we cannot develop in Krishna consciousness. Getting the goal right means that to get the intention right. So that's important for us to always consider that. But we can not consider as someone comes and thinking they have false motivations. That will appear from their actions also in the long time. But usually for that you need a long time observation of the person to know whether they have motives or not. And when they are clearly acting in a self-motivated way, we should try to correct them. That not by correcting them directly, but by preaching to them Krishna consciousness, to delivering lectures which are addressing these points. Many times I come in a place and I see the temple president. I'm asking, but what are the issues here? And they tell me the issues, and then I adapt my preaching to address these issues indirectly. And by that, the preacher can be helpful. If he's just concerned by coming and giving nice lectures and people appreciate me, everyone can give lectures. There's so many good lecturers. No, giving lectures is not a big qualification. But when one is pure-hearted, one will give lectures that touch the audience. If one is not pure-hearted, then one's lectures will not touch another's heart. But does that help?
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, very helpful. Thank you. Maharaj, on that point, like personally, like if we wanted to understand, our position also, many times we may feel that our intentions are right, but either we are slow in taking action or not taking action because of so many, other commitments or so many other noises around us. So in that case, what should be our approach?
Yeah, the thing is, we may think our intention is right, but many times there are still subtle things that, so one should not think too quickly that one's intentions are right. Therefore, it's good to pray to the spiritual master and to Krishna. Please guide me to get all these inappropriate desires out of my heart. That, usually it takes time. And sometimes we go little with these false intentions and we try. We want also to be Krishna conscious, but we have also these intentions. But then Krishna will make sure we give it up and it will not work out. That's you may desire, you have a material desire and you want it, Krishna will make sure you get frustrated. And then when you give the desire up, Krishna gives it to you. I've seen that many times. But that's Krishna, it's teaching us that. And it's a process. That when we take shelter of Krishna, okay, we may not have the 100% full spiritual desire, but Krishna takes care of us, also of our purification. He's leading us. And then your experience in life becomes a learning school, at the end you say yes. Okay, I'll give it up. It's all nonsense. But it is everywhere. That it is because material desires are childish, temporary things to play with. But yeah. Okay. I will have to stop because I have 2 hours of Bhaktivedanta course for the VIG starting in 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I look forward for tomorrow for the Bhagavatam class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much,
Krishna.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes.